There are a ton of crazy SEO theories and conspiracies out there that random Etsy gurus preach about. And some of them are just plain silly. Lucky for you, I'm not an Etsy SEO guru. I'm an Etsy SEO doctor, and I'm here to set the record straight. For those who are new here, my name is Starla Moore, founder of the Handmade Alpha Academy for Etsy sellers and manager at 𝔬𝕗𝕠𝕝𝕉.com, Etsy's most popular SEO tool. And if you've ever poked around the Etsy forums or Etsy Facebook groups, you've probably noticed a lot of conflicting advice about Etsy SEO and best practices. As a manager of Etsy's largest keyword research company, I can't tell you how many Etsy SEO mistakes that my team and I see every single day, which is why today I'll be sharing the top 10 Etsy SEO mistakes to avoid in your own Etsy shop. But before we dive into the details, I just want to take a quick moment to give a shout out to this week's featured shop. Thanks so much for your love and support. If you'd like to submit for your own shout out, tag Handmade Alphas in a photo or screenshot of yourself watching this video, either in your Instagram feed or Instagram stories. All right, let's do it. Etsy SEO mistake number 1, editing listings that are performing well. Now, a lot of people ask me to define what I mean by performing well, which is subjective. Performing well will mean different things to different sellers. If you make no sales on Etsy, your best performer might be the listing that gets the most views. Or it might be the one listing that sells occasionally when nothing else does. Or if you make consistent sales, it may be your best sellers. Bottom line, if you begin tinkering with your tags and titles of listings that are already performing well, you risk removing terms that you could have been exact matching or broad matching for in search, which can tank the listing. Photos and pricing have no weight in search, and we even have evidence to believe that your attributes and descriptions currently don't carry enough weight to matter, though Etsy does use them for ranking purposes, so proceed with caution. But generally, it's the tags and titles of performing listings that you don't want to touch, no matter what. Etsy SEO mistake number 2, not waiting 60 to 90 days before tweaking a listing again. There's a rumor floating around that if you touch your Etsy SEO, it resets your listing and you have to wait 60 to 90 days to be re-indexed. I don't know where this rumor came from, but it is a big fat myth. 60 to 90 days isn't an indexing period. It's the average amount of time that Etsy boosts your listings in search so that they can observe how shoppers interact with that listing. During this period, Etsy is basically deciding if people like what you're offering, and after they observe shopper interactions for this average time frame, they assign you a listing quality score, which also gives you a more permanent place in search. If all of that sounds super confusing, be sure to click here, right there, to register for my free Science of Etsy Success workshop, and I'll explain how it all works. And that workshop is on demand, so you can watch it anytime. When making changes to your Etsy tags and titles, you want to make sure Etsy has time to assign your listing quality score. Tweaking your SEO every day can interrupt this process, so give those listings time to settle in. Etsy SEO mistake number 3, not refreshing your eRank data. For anyone who uses 𝔬𝕗𝕠𝕝𝕉.com for your keyword research, you've probably noticed this pop-up window, which jumps in your face right when you log in. This isn't here to annoy you. It's here to help you. eRank couldn't possibly pull every single user's data in real time. It would make the website run way too slow. So if the stats that you're seeing in eRank aren't accurate for your listings, be sure to refresh the data every time that you see the pop-up, or click this orange button up here. Etsy SEO mistake number 4, only using one tool when performing your research. There are so many awesome eRank tools that can streamline your keyword research process and save you a bit of your sanity as well. If you want to compare the stats and search data of several keywords, check out the Compare Keywords tool. If you want to see what's trending on Etsy right now, check out the Trend Buzz tool. If you want to save your keywords so that you can monitor their search trends as the months go by, create a keyword list from this blue box down here and add search terms to that list by clicking the star icons. There are a ton of amazing tools to help you with keyword research, and though the keyword tool is my personal favorite, you can discover even more data by exploring some of the other tools as well. Etsy SEO mistake number 5, relying too much on your grades. If you rely too much on grades, Mrs. Moore will issue you a detention. That's because grades on eRank do not determine the success of your SEO or the keywords that you use. It's also why your best sellers may have bad grades, while the listings that seem to get no traffic have straight A grades. The short answer is, eRank's grading system within the listing audit tool is a checklist that reviews your listings to determine if that listing follows Etsy's best practices. There is no human looking at your listings to grade it, nor is eRank doing an in-depth analysis of the keywords that you're using in your listing. So, in short, the grading system is great when you create a new listing and you want to make sure that it follows Etsy's best practices. But you should never tweak a listing that is already doing well, even if your grades are bad. Etsy SEO mistake number 6, assuming your rank is static. Due to Etsy's personalized search algorithm that caters search pages based on a user's unique IP address and shopper habits, you cannot check your rank on Etsy by searching for your own listings. What I see on Etsy and what you see on Etsy will be completely different. And no, logging out of your account or using an incognito window will not strip your personalization, since this data comes from your IP address. And no, using a VPN also will not strip this data, because even if you set your location to a different country, you'll be seeing a catered search for that specific area. The only way to check your rank stripped of all personalization is with eRank's Rank Checker tool. This tool comes directly from Etsy's API, and it'll show you your average position in search once personalization has been stripped away. For more information about how all of that works and how to check your own rank, be sure to watch this video up here. Etsy SEO mistake number 7, starting your keyword research too narrow or too specific. When performing keyword research using eRank's keyword tool, I always recommend starting as broad as possible, then refining your way down. For example, if you're selling a beige wool chunky knit throw blanket, start by searching the term blanket in the keyword tool. Then scroll down to the list of keyword suggestions in order to discover stronger, long-tail keyword phrases that will be easier to rank for in search. Etsy SEO mistake number 8, guessing keywords rather than using a keyword research tool. This goes without saying, but I still see this mistake all the time. You may think you know what people are searching for on Etsy, but without actual data behind your guess, there's no way to prove that your prediction is correct. By using a keyword research tool like eRank.com, you can check to see the monthly search volume of the best keywords to use in your listings, tags, and titles, and you can see which months you can expect the most people to search for those specific keywords. So, no guessing your keywords. Those are Etsy's Stone Age methods, and we're living in the future, baby. Etsy SEO mistake number 9, using the Etsy search bar as your primary keyword research tool. Going right along with our last mistake, if you're utilizing the Etsy search bar for all of your keyword research, you're basically taking shots in the dark. The Etsy search bar is a consumer-centric tool designed to tell shoppers about available products in the marketplace in order to help them narrow down their searches. But though Etsy recommends these phrases, it doesn't necessarily mean that people are actually searching for them. So when using the Etsy search bar, I always recommend taking those terms and double-checking them in eRank's keyword tool, just to see how many people are actually searching for them. And lastly, Etsy SEO mistake number 10, incorrectly filling out your attributes. With the holiday season right around the corner, this is a mistake that I see all the time. In short, your attributes on Etsy are the collection of little drop-down menus that you can use to categorize your products when building a listing. And every year around the holidays, I see sellers add the Christmas attribute to items that they believe would make great gifts for Christmas. Unfortunately, this isn't what these attributes are for. Attributes are meant to define what you're selling. They help to bridge the gap between the item and the search query from your shopper. Which means that attributes pertaining to holidays and occasions should only be added to items that are actually themed in these holidays or occasions. For example, this mug is not a Christmas mug. Sure, it might make a great gift for Christmas, but because the mug is not themed in Christmas, it would not qualify for a Christmas attribute. Unlike this mug, which would totally qualify for a Christmas attribute because clearly it is a Christmas mug. So if an attribute doesn't fit your specific product, just leave it blank. As I always say, Etsy SEO isn't magic, it's a science. And like any good science experiment, we need time to form a hypothesis when it comes to our keywords, test our theories, analyze our results over time, come up with a conclusion based on the data that we've collected, and refine our testing if the experiment wasn't a success. There is no overnight success when it comes to Etsy SEO, but through keyword experimentation and testing, you can find success over time. The most important thing to do is to do your research, study your results, and don't get discouraged when an experiment fails. Because in science, failed experiments are learning experiences, and experience in SEO makes all the difference. And with a little science, a lot of data, and some help from a trusted Etsy SEO expert, you'll be well on your way to Etsy success. Cue the funky lo-fi beat.